Mr. Lavrov, at the G20 meeting, was caught saying something quite extraordinary. He says, it's hard for me to judge. He's talking about the difference between Europe and Russia. Alien soul, darkness, and especially the soul of the European Union, where the darkness is very thick. If they sometimes dissipate, they're not for long, he said. Now, what was he referring to when he referred to the darkness of the soul? Because this is a very technical concept. I think he was heavily influenced by the Apophatic theology that's seen in the Novgorod school of Russian icons. That is the Russian icons where in the center of the picture there is often a black circle and a black nimbus representing God. And the idea is that God himself, God the Father, is never presented, and instead of a hand or a golden glow, there is a darkness. It sounds slightly worrying, but in fact, it's not. That darkness is the impenetrable essence of God, the thing that we cannot know, the transcendence of God that is at the same time immanent and invisible, a little bit like the ERG. And it's our job to search for the transcendence in ourselves, to look for the hidden, the invisible. There's a fellow called Father Sergey Bulgakov, who was writing in the late 90s, and he himself was writing about this idea in Russia, and he was particularly drawing on the traditions of Dionysius the Areopagite, the idea that God is so perfect that he exceeds his creation in words and image. We cannot comprehend, we cannot imagine what God is like, only what God is not. God, in other words, is unspeakable and unnameable. I'm not quite sure that is the European Union, but I think Lavrov is inspired by that. You know, you can think even of even in biblical theology, 1 Timothy 6:16, whom no man hath seen nor can see. And this idea is developed in the Greek theology by the wonderful St. Gregory Palamas. That God is nameless and inexpressible and can really only be reached through silence, through hesychism, and through the continual practice, prayer without ceasing, which frankly is just breathing. And so when you look at these dark patches in the Novgorod school of icon painting, there is God transcending light. Vladimir Lossky talks about the mystical, and it's not. It is beyond. It's beyond us. But the unknowable nature of God, and the unknowable things that are beyond us, are not beyond our trying and our reaching, and that really is the issue. And I think a resolution in the war between Russia and Ukraine, in the war between Russia and the rest of the world, is not beyond a resolution. Is not beyond reaching. We cannot really give up. We must keep hoping, because the impenetrable darkness can be accessed.